I'm here in downtown Huntsville in front of the Madison County Courthouse, and as you can see behind me, several hundreds of people have gathered to protest the death of George Floyd. So far, it has been a peaceful protest. Huntsville Hospital is the area's only level 1 trauma center, so they get the most seriously injured patients. The staff works hard to make sure they're prepared for a mass casualty or disaster. Well, the time you can walk around downtown, this in your hand has expanded. City Council has made some changes. They also expanded the entertainment district here at Campus 805 to include the Stove House just down the street. Volunteers spent today cleaning up Big Spring Park to keep the heart of the city looking beautiful. I'm here at J. Drake Salon and Spa, and as you can see behind me, they are open up for business. They're using precautions like using face masks and keeping a social distance. You get the phone calls all the time. Telemarketers trying to sell you something or get your information. If you're a customer with Decatur Utilities, there's a phone scam you want to be aware of. Over the weekend, a prayer vigil was held for Camille Cupcake McKinney, the 3-year-old girl from Birmingham who was last seen over a week ago at a birthday party where police believe she was abducted. Experts suggest that leaving your child's toy in the front seat will remind you when you get out that they're in the back seat. Hear the advice all the time to keep your belongings, lock a purse in the back seat of the car so you don't forget your child. Do you know what apps your kid is using on their smartphone? Today, hundreds of Morgan County teachers met to learn about social media safety and how to keep your kids safe. As you can see behind me, this is not your typical ambulance. This Kids Care ambulance has been decked out to help kids feel more comfortable in times of emergency. 75% of the steel beams are up as the framework of the new Mazda Toyota plant takes its shape.
You're watching WAFF 48, your first alert. This is breaking news.
We begin with first alert, breaking news in Decatur. A 3-car crash is causing traffic delays on Point Mallard Parkway. WAFF 48 Jenna Ray tweeted this photo from the scene of the crash on the parkway. Today is the first day of the legislative session where several lawmakers are meeting to talk about big topics like health care, prison reform, and taxes. Sex trafficking is a $150 billion business worldwide. The United States has ranked as one of the worst countries in the world for human trafficking. And this problem isn't just in big cities. It's a major problem here in Alabama. As you can see behind me, Lake Gunnersville may be quiet right now, but over 10,000 people are expected to attend tomorrow for the 4th of July festivities. It was a packed courtroom here at the Madison County Courthouse as the suspect pleaded guilty in the brutal and bizarre attack. Are you always running late for work or school like me? Well, you better slow down. HPD urges drivers to be cautious, especially with school starting back. Do you have some extra stress or just went through a breakup? The Rage Room might be the place for you to get rid of that extra stress. In Lauderdale County, a woman is accused of murdering her ex-husband. Peggy Hall allegedly shot and killed Randall Bobo, and he was found dead inside his home on County Road 130 on Wednesday morning. Hall has been charged with capital murder and is currently being held without bond at the Lauderdale County Detention Center. Deputies say they received a call at 8:30 in the morning reporting that someone had been going from door to door with a gun on County Road 130. I'm here in downtown Huntsville in front of the Madison County Courthouse, and as you can see behind me, several hundreds of people have gathered to protest the death of George Floyd. So far, it has been a peaceful protest.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
And the rally against police brutality remained peaceful until 8 p.m. when Huntsville police deployed tear gas, rubber bullets, pepper spray, and flashbangs on the crowd. On Thursday, Huntsville Police Chief Mark McMurray spoke at a press conference and explained that the protest permit expired at 6:30 p.m. and after protesters refused to leave, the police were left with no other option than to use force.
You didn't see any of them, and then all of a sudden we brought them out, they still didn't change their mind. We brought the troopers out, they still didn't change their mind. I mean, how many warnings do you give before you lose your sunset? They, by their own refusal to obey a lawful order, this was on them, not on us. How many minutes would you like for me to give them and lose this? This is how you handle people who are breaking the law, wanting to do damage to your city. And so we provided that area unpermitted to march around there, and we allowed them to stand outside the courthouse for 90 minutes. But then the whole tensions changed as they brought out more and more equipment, as they brought out the masks, the goggles, and all of the bags started coming out. And so what you saw was a typical way of dispersing with the least amount of force.
24 protesters were arrested and 2 police officers were injured. I spoke with a few attendees at the rally to hear in their own words why protests like these are important, despite the risks associated with attending.
I think it's really important because we see the same thing happen year after year, month after month. Young black men and women are getting killed for the color of their skin, and we can't keep that cycle going. It's 2020, so we just need to get over it. We need to move on, and we need to make change.
The importance of the rally is to get a message to the public, whatever your message is. In this case, our message is that we need to, if we want to have real change, we're going to have to show up to the polls on election day.
I'm here for moms, all the moms who worry about their kids at night and who worry about their kids jogging in their own neighborhood. And I think of my boys and I want to stand with moms.
Reporting in Huntsville, Hannah Campbell. No one ever expects it to happen in their community until it does. 2 mass shootings in 2 separate states in just 13 hours this past week. That's got many people wondering how prepared is North Alabama for a mass casualty event or disaster. Huntsville Hospital is the area's only level 1 trauma center, so they get the most seriously injured patients. The staff works hard to make sure they're prepared for a mass casualty or disaster. Joyce Thomas is Huntsville Hospital's manager of emergency preparedness, and she took us inside the emergency department today, one of the busiest in Alabama.
This is one of our trauma rooms. We have 6 of these rooms total, but it's set up for a disaster. We could put actually 3 patients in here if we needed to. The headboard is set up. We could put 3 patients and the door breaks away to the other trauma room. So the trauma physician can leave one trauma room to the next, go to 3 trauma suites in one pod.
She says if there's an active shooter or any kind of disaster in the region, the staff is trained and prepared to handle the influx of patients.
And does the system work? You know, do we have the equipment in the right place? Do we have the staff positioned in the right place? You know, are we ready? We want to iron out any little bitty glitch that could cause us a problem down the road.
She looks at other major events to make sure they can manage a similar number of patients. For example, when the shooting happened in Las Vegas, more than 250 people went to the emergency department.
We want to be able to manage that too. You know, if that's the magic number, 250, then we're planning 250 for 2 o'clock in the morning.
The hospital does constant training, including community drills, with the city, the school system, and the airport. They also do a lot of internal drills. After the April 27th tornadoes in 2011, Thomas says they restructured their emergency plan, and now they use 2-way radios.
So if the power goes out and the phone lines go out, and if we get hit by a tornado, we still got the backup radio. No, we can't sit back and say it won't ever happen to us. That's not the way to be planning. We want to be very proactive, and we want to be there. We don't want to let our community down.
The hospital's training extends beyond mass casualties. They prepare for outbreaks, highly infectious diseases, and radiation exposure. We thank them for sharing information about their training and preparations with our viewers. In Huntsville, Hannah Campbell, WAFF 48 News. Your evenings in downtown Huntsville just got a lot more lively. You can now walk around with a purple cup in hand longer. The hours of the entertainment district have been expanded.
They'll begin at 12 noon and last until 11 p.m. every night, 7 nights a week.
A change Sue Ann Griffith helped start.
Figured somebody should say something, and I was like, why not go try and see if we can get it passed.
Griffith grew up in Huntsville.
Growing up, there weren't a lot of things downtown.
She also knew the city's entertainment district hours needed to change.
People are having a hard time remembering what days the entertainment district was and wasn't active and what hours.
Griffith did her research.
City planners, city council, got a lot of other people involved in the town that love the entertainment district, so we could all kind of join together.
Well, the time you can walk around with downtown this in your hand has expanded. City council has made some changes. They also expanded the entertainment district here at Campus 805 to include the Stove House just down the street.
This is kind of how city council is supposed to work, is I live here, go to them with a concern, and then seeing them follow through and address all of the concerns and then make something happen from just citizen commentary.
It shows that we can have these types of facilities and they can be neighborhood friendly.
Increasing foot traffic and putting more drinks in your cup. In Huntsville, Hannah Campbell, WAFF 48 News. Do you have some extra stress or just went through a breakup? The Rage Room might be the place for you to get rid of that extra stress. Yes, that's the Rage Room, where you can break glass, electronics, and other objects until your heart is content. I got gloved up, put my mask on, and got to smashing.
Okay.
The Rage Room is a great place to have birthday parties and even employee bonding exercises.
So we came here for a group outing with the company I work for, Thompson Gray. We brought a handful of people, about 6 of us came out, and we just saw the opportunity to have some fun and do something different that is new to the area, or at least new to us. But the whole group, all in all, had fun. We had multiple bottles, the larger items, the medium and small items as they have them listed, speaker boxes, a little Apple TV box, a lot of electronics, a lot of bottles, and then your assortment of golf clubs, bats, sledgehammers, hammers, crowbars, a lot of activities to use.
So if you have some extra rage, head down to the Rage Room, grab a bat, and start swinging. Hannah Campbell in Huntsville, WAFF 48 News. Governor Kay Ivey announced on Friday that a safer at home order would go into effect on Monday, May 11th. Several businesses are starting to reopen, like the J. Drake Salon and Spa in Coleman. I'm here at J. Drake Salon and Spa, and as you can see behind me, they are open up for business. They're using precautions like using face masks and keeping a social distance. So how do you feel about opening up?
We are thrilled to death. We've been waiting for this day, and we are so excited to be back at work.
Jimmy Drake, the owner of J. Drake Salon and Spa, says that the staff is working cautiously and making client safety and health their top priority.
Well, we're taking extreme caution. We're asking the client to wait in their cars until we're ready for their appointments, so that way we're not stacking people. We are maintaining the 6-foot distance in between clients, trying to do everything we can to keep the sanitation as good as possible, cleaning in between every client. We're asking the stylist to wear their mask while they're providing the service, and we're asking the client to wear theirs if they're not comfortable. We don't require it, but it's their option.
Jimmy says that if you want to make an appointment, just call in. Business is booming, so you may be put on a wait list.
We'll schedule you any way we possibly can to get you accommodated as quickly as possible. We do have a backlash of clients that are waiting, as well as people that normally just walk in and they have nowhere to go, so we're trying to accommodate that. We're trying to get extra staff in to accommodate those people and just do everything we can, but we appreciate everyone's patience of working with us, getting everyone back in.
Hannah Campbell in Coleman, My Coleman Television.